Hello viewers, welcome to Academy. Today we are going to discuss about the most important environment related current affairs that happened in the last 1 month. Okay, so we'll be looking into in the perspective of prelims as well as upcoming state PCS exams. These can be the most important areas in environment. So now if you see, first topic we are going to discuss is International Partnership for Hydrogen and Fuel Cells in Economy. So this initiative, why we are discussing this, recently this summit happened in Delhi. So when some international summit happens in the India or any country, to be precise, they can ask the particular facts about this organization and what are the things that happen as part of the summit. Is there any major outcome? These type of things can be asked. Then why we are discussing about this Poito Wildlife Sanctuary, because recently the status of wildlife sanctuary was denotified to this wildlife sanctuary. Okay, so in this regard you need to know some specific unique features of this Poito Wildlife Sanctuary. Then we have Blue Leaders Alliance. So what is this Blue Leader Alliance? Recently also there is a meeting happened with respect to this, and if you see, this is also associated with biodiversity beyond national jurisdictions. Okay, we call this as BBNG. So is India part of this or not, we'll discuss. Then Swachhata Green Leaf Rating Initiative. So who launched this and what is the main objective of this Swachhata Green Leaf, we'll look into. And India's first green hydrogen plant happened in stainless steel sector, and where they have established this plant and what are the unique features of this. Okay, so it is very much important whenever we are establishing anything for the first time in India, that will have lot of importance in your examination. UPSC always focuses on these aspects. Then we have BioTrig. Okay, this is a new waste management technology where we are trying to minimize the harmful waste and we are trying to get the products out of this waste management in a useful way. So waste to energy or waste to wealth, you can say. In that way we have this technology. So they can ask this term also, what is BioTrig? It is waste management technique. We'll look into this also. And this Ecosite, most important term in environment for upcoming prelims is this Ecosite. They can ask any question related to this. So now we'll look into these each one in detail, but here first thing you need to know is they form part of GS paper 3 in environment section. Then first topic we have is this IPHE, or International Partnership for Hydrogen Fuel Cells in Economy. So this initiative, so already it was launched in 2003, but why we are discussing now, recently 41st meeting happened in New Delhi and it was hosted by India. That is why it is very much important for your exam. So first most thing you have to see is here the partnership is for developing hydrogen as well as fuel cells. So what are these, we'll look into. So hydrogen, we are focusing more in renewable energy in the recent times or non-fossil fuels, and another important thing is we are focusing on green hydrogen also. Green hydrogen means we have National Green Hydrogen Mission also launched, right? Green hydrogen means which was developed from renewable sources like wind energy or solar energy. So out of this, if you generate green hydrogen, so whatever the products we are getting in return from this process, that also will be renewable in energy form only, and we are trying to minimize the carbon emissions. That is the main objective of this initiative. So the fact you have to remember is this is an intergovernmental organization and it was established in 2003. It has currently 23 members and India is also a part of this organization. That is why it has hosted. So you have to keep in mind they can ask these type of things. So what is the main objective? To ensure that there will be focus on renewable energy as well as mobility also. Mobility means fuel. Okay, so in transportation or in vehicles also we are trying to use only green fuels or renewable sources only, so that we are trying to minimize the carbon emissions. So, and also we wanted to ensure research and development also happens in this sector. So that is the main objective. So what are the focus areas here? First thing you have to remember is the main focus of this initiative is on developing green hydrogen. So out of green hydrogen, what are the derivatives we are getting? I told you already what is green hydrogen. It is generated from renewable sources like wind and solar energy. So what are the derivatives of green hydrogen? We have these, or nothing but these two: green ammonia as well as green methanol. So if you see green ammonia, so this is when we are using green ammonia, normally ammonia will be having some carbon emissions, okay, and it can be even detrimental to the soil and all these things. But in case if you see green ammonia, it is renewable in nature and it doesn't release any carbon emissions, so that it is sustainable alternative. Then green methanol. So these are the two derivatives we have. And green methanol, if you see, this will be used in producing formaldehyde, like that. Some industrial chemicals also are developed using this green methanol. So these are the fuel cells, or you can say renewable mobility fuels which can be used from this green hydrogen. So developing these type of things, okay, these are the main objectives of this initiative which was hosted by India. Then second topic we are having is Poito Wildlife Sanctuary. So as I told you, recently the petition was filed in the Supreme Court with respect to demarcating this, and recently this was also denotified. The status with respect to that also we have an update. So where is this located? Sometimes they can ask direct questions also, the location and all. So here it is in the Assam, state of Assam, on the river banks of Brahmaputra river. Okay, so do remember this. And it is having habitat in the form of grasslands as well as wetland habitat. And most importantly, you have to remember is here we have these two reserve forests also part of Poito Wildlife Sanctuary itself. And most importantly, we have the highest density of greater one-horn rhinos there in Poito Wildlife Sanctuary. Do remember, there are two important things which you need to remember here. The highest number of one-horn rhinos there in the Kaziranga National Park in terms of number. Okay, highest number is there in Kaziranga National Park. Whereas on the other side, you have highest density of one-horn rhinos in Poito Wildlife Sanctuary. That means, you know what is the difference between number and density, right? In the area, in very less area, if you have more number of one-horn rhinos, okay, this dense population you call as density, okay. So, but number-wise, they are more in Kaziranga. Highest density is in Poito. So this is considered rhino capital also, and it is also considered as mini Kaziranga because of huge presence of one-horn rhinos. And along with one-horn rhinos, you have these leopards, leopard, cat, or other things also there along with them. Then you have to remember, in India, according to the recent estimate, we have Indian Rhino Vision, we have all these things which are launched along with Assam government. Okay, so these, according to the estimate, they estimated that there are 2,640 rhinos, and these are having vulnerable category status in IUCN Red List, and these are there in mainly Poito Wildlife Reserve, Orang National Park or Rajiv Gandhi National Park we call, Kaziranga National Park as well as Manas National Park. So all these are from Assam. Not only in Assam, we have some of the one-horn rhinos in there in West Bengal, and some are even there in the state of Sikkim also, some very less in Sikkim, but most of the times we'll find them in West Bengal. Okay, so these are the things which you have to keep in mind. And it is also designated, it is also one of them where we find in Kaziranga National Park as Tiger Reserve. So what is the conservation status of one-horn rhino? It is vulnerable. At the same time, it is enjoying Appendix 1 status in CITES. CITES, you know, it is Convention for International Trade in Endangered Species. Okay, for prevention of any trade which is endangering the species. Such things will be regulated under CITES Convention. Then under Wildlife Protection Act Schedule 1, this is listed out. Then we have the third topic, that is Blue Leaders Alliance. The name itself, blue, means it suggests it is related to marine or ocean related things. So here, what is the Blue Leaders Alliance? Recently the summit happened in Belgium in the month of first week of March itself. So what is the most important thing is this Belgium hosted this Blue Leaders Alliance. So this has discussed about how to protect biodiversity in the oceans. Okay, so because sometimes, you know, we have this territorial waters, contiguous zones, exclusive economic zones, and then high seas we have, right? So within this, it will fall under respective countries and the government's control. But high seas, you know, no one can claim the sovereignty over these, and it belongs to all. It belongs to the entire human race. So in these type of areas, how to protect the marine resources or how to protect the oceanic resources or living organisms especially, that is the main idea of this Blue Leaders Alliance. Okay, and do remember, it doesn't have India as a member. So this type of questions can trap you. So India is not having a membership in Blue Leaders Alliance. How many countries are part of this? 24 countries are part of this. Okay, do remember, India is not a member. Then what is the main thing? They wanted to protect the at least 30% of the marine resources or the global resources by 2030. That is the target they have kept as part of this alliance. And also they wanted to try to convene a treaty with respect to high seas. Whatever we have till exclusive economic zones, we have UN clause, United Nations Convention on Law of Sea. But beyond this, we don't have any comprehensive treaty which is discussing with respect to high seas and the conservation. So that is why biodiversity beyond natural jurisdiction. So this is what the treaty that was proposed. Then Fourth topic we have is Swachhata Green Leaf Rating Initiative. So who started this means it is started by Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation along with Jal Shakti, and importantly it is also Tourism Ministry. So it is a collaborative effort of one department and two ministries of Union government. So why they have launched this? To ensure that water doesn't get polluted, and we wanted to minimize plastic usage in water, and we wanted to give best services in hospitality or tourism sector. Okay, that is the main objective. So world-class hygiene and sanitation should be provided, because if you remember, SDG 6 itself is suggesting clean drinking water and sanitation should be provided. So this is the main thing which is trying to enforce the same provision to prevent pollution in water and also to minimize the marine environment pollution. Okay, so here you can see sanitation, waste management, as well as reduced plastic usage in hospitality sector. That is the main objective, and they will also provide a rating system, okay, with respect to guidelines. So next we have another initiative is India's first green hydrogen power plant in stainless steel sector. So who started this means Ministry of Steel and Aviation. So we have minister who started this in Hisar. Hisar is in Haryana. Do remember this. The names can be asked because last time UPSC have tested on Kochi International Airport, first solar powered international airport. Like this, they can ask this question. Okay. So we have Jyotiraditya Scindia, who is the minister. So he has inaugurated the India's first green hydrogen in a stainless steel. Because why stainless steel is having importance? Because normally steel production and all that involves huge carbon emissions. But in this production of stainless steel also, we are trying to introduce green hydrogen, which is a renewable source. That is why it is becoming for the first time very significant. Then who started this? It is by Hygenco and Jindal Steel Stainless Steels Limited. Okay, so they started this plant, and do remember this is also the world's first off-grid green hydrogen plant for the stainless steel industry, not only in India but also world's first off-grid plant. And you have to remember this is the first green hydrogen along with floating solar installations. So not only green hydrogen, rooftop and floating installations related to solar things also are part of this project. And you have to keep in mind it is expected to reduce about 2,700 metric tons of carbon emissions which are normally produced in the production of steel. So clean and sustainable future, as well as achieving net zero emissions. We have kept a target, no? So that Panchamrit principles by 2070 wanted to achieve net zero. To ensure these things, this type of projects will help us. Then what is green hydrogen? As I told you in the beginning also, green hydrogen means which is produced from renewable sources like wind energy or solar energy. Okay, so these type of things. But what happens in green hydrogen? It will electrolyze and only it will release hydrogen and oxygen. It will be separated, and only whatever the output we have, that is only water and renewable source. There won't be any greenhouse gas emissions. Completely it is clean. So this is what the main idea. Then we have BioTrig. This is a new waste management initiative we have. So what is this technology means? As I told you, this is based on pyrolysis. You know, waste management is having different ways, like landfills we have, or pyrolysis. Like this, different initiatives were launched in waste management. So what is this method of pyrolysis means? Where the waste is burnt at very high temperatures. Okay, that will be called as pyrolysis. So what happens in this technology is, here the organic materials are recycled, as well as if you see they are heated above 400 degrees Celsius, okay, and in oxygen free environment they will be burnt, so that only useful chemicals will be released out of this process. That means out of the waste management you are getting useful products, waste to energy, or you can say waste to energy or waste to wealth. This is what the concept behind this initiative. So you can see what we are getting is three types of items you are getting. One is bio oil, syngas, and biochar. Okay, so this biochar is used in increasing the soil fertility. On the other hand, we have this bio oil. This is used as a cleaner burning alternative to biomass and firewood and all. And we have syngas. This can be used to generate energy also, and to power supply purposes also we can use this. So these are the three outcomes of this BioTrig initiative using pyrolysis. So this type of terms they can ask you, what are the outcomes of this process? Very important. All these are renewable and they have no emissions released from the process. Okay, that is why this technology has become important. Then last topic we have is Ecosite. So what is this Ecosite? Ecosite is nothing but when you destroy the ecosystem, or when you destroy an environment, then we call it as an Ecosite. An act of destruction of an ecosystem is called Ecosite. So what happened is, Belgium, you know, this is a European country. So this country has made Ecosite as a criminal offense for the first time. Okay, so it has designated it as a national as well as international crime. That means within the country, if anyone has committed any destruction to the ecosystem, then they can be sentenced to jail. This is what the provision says. It is not only national crime but international crime also. So such facts can be asked. So do remember the countries. So then what is ecocide? It is when you cause some harm or destruction to the ecosystem, normally in the process, anthropogenic reasons, then it is called ecocide. So what are the examples? Deforestation in different areas. Okay, so when you are industrially developing, in the process we are trying to deforest, no, so those process all accounts to ecocide. Pollution, all these things, it can be in any form. Then what is a legal restriction today? If you see, there is no international law when you hurt an ecosystem. That is why we are using it very often. Okay, and we are trying to use for our maximum greeds instead of focusing on what ecosystem and how it has to be preserved. Then if you see, this concept was proposed by Olof Palme. So this was outcome of 1972 UN Conference on Human and Environment, that is also called Stockholm Conference. Out of this we have some major outcomes, like we have UNEP established. Okay, you know, this is headquartered in Nairobi in Kenya. It is also the environmental wing of UN, which also gives Champions of Earth Award. And you know, Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, was also a recipient of this award. And you have to remember that there is also another outcome is 5th June on which this meeting was hosted. We have been celebrating from then as World Environmental Day. Okay. These are the major outcomes you have to keep in mind. Now, as we have seen the country of Belgium, it is important equally to know the location. So, where it is located, Northwestern Europe, and these are the border countries you can see and locate on the map. Try to locate it on the map when I'm saying this, okay? And it is having capital as Brussels. Why Belgium location I have included is, it is because of different reasons. As Belgium ecocide is in news, at the same time, Brussels hosts the NATO headquarters also. You know, NATO is so much in news, and 2 member countries have joined. Which are the countries that have joined NATO? And try to answer in the comment section. And also it hosts the European Union and Eurozone, NATO, OECD and WTO. It was a founding member of this Belgium, as well as it is having headquarters of NATO and also European Union in this capital of Brussels. Okay, so this is why the location is very much important. What is a previous video question I have given with reference to the preventive detention? Consider the following. Constitution of India provides that the time period for preventive detention cannot exceed beyond 1 month. As I told you, it is 3 months period. Okay, beyond 3 months, advisory board has to give instructions, right? Then person should be informed of the reasons. This is also, I told you, under 22 clause 5. Okay, this is for preventive detention, one of the provisions. So only 2 is the correct answer here. Then what is the practice question given for today? Consider the following statements. First one, green hydrogen is produced by burning hydrogen gas with coal, releasing carbon dioxide as a byproduct. Then National Green Hydrogen Mission aims to make India as a global hub for production, usage, export of green hydrogen and its derivatives. What are the correct options? Try to answer in the comment section. Then the mains question, discuss the role of renewable energy resources in order to maintain environmental sustainability with special reference to India. So what you have to answer is, what is the importance of renewable energy sources and how they are ensuring environmental sustainability. You have to focus on zero emissions and all. You have to give some examples to elaborate the answer. So this is what the mains question. Then, as we have reached to the end of the video today, we have discussed about the most important environment related current affairs that happened in the last 1 month. If you want to continue with this initiatives in any other field, for example, we have discussed environment, no, in any other subjects, if you want, please let me know in the comment section. I'll try to bring as much as I can. So thank you for watching. Have a good day.